For over a decade, business authors and coaches Mary Erlane and Meredith Bromfield have been writing together about managing different generations at work. Now, they're writing their next book about the newest generation to join the workplace and how to help them excel.
What we've discovered in our research, and both of us doing loads of research, and I remember creating the lists of events for each one of the generations. And suddenly we had the epiphany. Oh my goodness, look at the similarities, especially between the boomers and the Zoomers.
Right.
And I know you've latched onto that and are really running with it.
Right, very definitely. Because I think back, and as a boomer, we were the first generation as far as being very rebellious. We came out of a traditionalist family structure that there was right and there was wrong, there was black and there was white, there were no shades of gray. And all of a sudden we found ourselves in the war in Vietnam. Now it was interesting, the war in Vietnam was never called a war, it was more of a conflict. But at the same time, I'm engaged to a Marine who's going to Vietnam, and I'm protesting. I'm doing sit-ins and, leaving the school building with my signs, and because we felt it was wrong. And I see in the Zoomer generation that they're looking at things that are happening in society and they're saying these things are wrong. But the challenge is there isn't a right and wrong. It's just, they just feel there's something that's disconnecting. It's disconcerting. It's making me feel uncomfortable. I don't know why, because I don't have a basis of, I'm rebelling against this because I don't have that basis. I just see such similarities in the fact that the motives, the desires are the same, but how it plays out, how that all works is where it gets really muddied. And I think that's where it's so important that my generation, because we've lived through some of that kind of upheaval, I think we have the most empathy and understanding to that other generation of what they're going through, because we went through that kind of thing. And I think that's the power of that connection that we have with them.
And we are going to be looking at the similarities with each generation to provide them a basis where we can connect to our Zoomers, our Gen Zs. And again, build the bridges there and maybe shore up the ones ultimately between the other generations.
Totally.
And that's our passion.
Yes. It's going to be a lot
and
of
our
work.
calling.
Do you want to learn more about helping your multi-generational organization excel? Visit Peak Development Strategies website today.